y'all, Jen here at A Bit Better Yoga, and thank you for joining me on your day off. Maybe it is a holiday or a weekend, or you're playing hooky. Doesn't much matter. We're here to do some yoga, and we're gonna get after it because we've got some energy, right? It's a day off of work. But don't worry if you are a beginner or just not quite there today. We're gonna build up. We're gonna build up using something called ladder flows. So let's get right into it in a comfortable seat. Okay, so I've got my legs crossed here, one ankle or shin in front of the other, but you can find a seat that works for you. Sit up nice and tall, get those shoulders over the hips and relaxed away from the ears. When you get some of those wiggles out, you can just take the gaze down or close the eyes. Take a moment here to really focus on your breath. Specifically, the sensation of filling up as you inhale. And grounding down into the mat or the floor as you exhale. With each inhale, feel yourself grow a little bit taller. The crown of the head reaches higher to the ceiling. And with each exhale, you feel a little bit more stable and rooted. Take a moment here as we breathe to think about what you want to get out of this quick day off yoga practice today. Maybe you've got lots of plans and you need an energy boost. Get through the day. Maybe you are doing this later in the day and it's time to do something for yourself. Whatever the reason, I'm glad that you have chosen to be here because it shows that you are intentionally choosing what to do on your days away from work. And that is awesome. Flutter the eyes open if they're not already, and inhale the arms overhead. Look up to those thumbs, and then take the right hand down outside the right hip and reach the left arm over. Ground down through that left hip as you reach the left fingertips over to the corner of the room. Press into the bottom hand, come up through center, both hands reach tall, and take it to the other side. Rolling that right shoulder back, really press down into the right hip so that you can feel length through the right side of the body. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. And then come up through center here, and then dive the fingertips forward, folding over those shins. Just let the head release, feeling a nice stretch of the hips and the low back here. Keep with that nice breath we started practice. Okay, walk your fingertips back in towards you and switch the cross of your legs, if they're crossed. Reach those hands up nice and tall. And then let's take a twist. So turn your shoulders and your torso to the right. Rest the right hand to the outside of the right hip, left hand to the outside of the right thigh, and look over that back shoulder. Take a nice inhale and sit up tall. Exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. Press into that right hand to bring yourself back through center. Reach both hands up tall, get long through the waist, and then take a twist to the left. So the left hand comes to the outside and behind the left hip, right hand to the outside of the left thigh, looking over that left shoulder if you can. Take an inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist, maybe just a millimeter further. Release your twist, come back through center, reaching both hands up, and you've guessed it, dive forward. Feeling a stretch through the hips here. If it's the morning for you, like it is for me, this is really just getting into those places that we're asleep for however many hours, hopefully 8 at least. Walk your hands back in towards your shins. And now we're going to come to a squat at the top of the mat. So we're going to come to squat on our toes. Find a little bit of balance here. So our toes are together or closer together, and we're just bending down at the knees, resting our hips towards our heels. We'll start here with our fingertips on the earth. And maybe we start here and we stay here. But if you want to test your balance, you can start to lift the torso up and maybe get the fingertips, one hand or both hands, off of the earth. Maybe the hands come to heart center. Take a big breath in, try to get those shoulders over the hips. And then take a breath out, fingertips to the earth. Rise up just a little bit so you can press your heels down. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, drop the right knee and untuck the toes. Finding a low lunge. Reach up nice and tall. Tuck the tailbone and shift the hips forward. Getting a stretch through the front of that thigh. Frame the left foot, tuck the back toes, lift up, step that right foot forward to meet the left, settle back into your squat. So you can stay here or yet again. Maybe this time is better than last or worse, finding your balance, getting those shoulders over the hips. Use the core here to help stabilize your wobbly feet. Take the fingertips back down to the earth. Rise up, drop the heels, step the left foot back, drop the knee down, and rise up. Looking to those thumbs, tucking the tailbone, shifting the hips forward. Reaching nice and tall. Take the hands down to frame that right foot. Come off of the back knee and step the left foot forward. Refind your squat. Find your balance. Lift those hands off. And now from here, you can drop the fingertips and roll up to stand. Or if you really want to test yourself today, because it's a day off and why not test yourself, let's try to stand keeping those heels lifted. So we're going to rise up. Firm those ankles together. Once you're at the top of your mat, drop the heels down. Reach up nice and tall. Look to those thumbs, and then find a fold. So hinge at the hips. Take those fingertips down to the earth. Heel toe the feet about hip width if they're not there already. Grab opposite elbows and take a moment to sway. Drop the forehead. We're going to build onto those low lunges. Drop the fingertips to the earth. Step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Drop the right knee down. Come on up. Low lunge. You've got this. Take the hands to heart center. And then bring the right hand down. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Look to that left thumb. Finding a low lunge twist here. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, frame the left foot. This time we are going to step the left foot back to meet the right, finding your first downward facing dog. So the hips are high here. The knees can be super bent. That's A-okay. Press into the base of your fingers. So that place on your palm where your palm meets your fingers, press there to take some pressure out of the wrists. Look forward to those hands and step the right foot, however many steps you need, to find your low lunge on this side. Drop the left knee down, rise up. Bring the hands to heart center, and then take that left hand down, right arm reaches up. Look to the right thumb, low lunge twist. Cartwheel that right hand down, framing the right foot. Come off of the back knee and let's step it forward, finding a forward fold. Inhale, rise up with a flat back. Look to those thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Adding on. Reach up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Take those hands to the earth. Bend the knees enough so that you can actually plant the hands on the earth. Step the right foot back, drop the right knee down, low lunge, reach up nice and tall. Hands to heart center. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up, finding your low lunge twist. If you feel a little unstable here, heel toe that left foot out a little bit wider, create space and stability. That left arm should be reaching straight up from the shoulder, nice and strong. Tuck the back toes and press through that back heel to lift the back knee off the mat. High lunge twist. Nice. Windmill the hand down, framing that left foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Lifting those hips high, maybe the knees are a little bit straighter this time. Think of wrapping your triceps, the back of your upper arms, down towards the mat. This will broaden your upper back and relax those shoulders away from the ears. Look up to your hands, step that right foot forward, drop the left knee down, reach up, low lunge, hands to heart center. Dive the left hand down, right arm up. Maybe you heel toe that foot out just a little bit. Keep reaching up nice and tall. Tuck the back toes, press through the back heel, high lunge twist. Feeling a good stretch through that left leg. Dive the right hand down, frame the right foot, step it forward, forward fold. Rise up, flat back, look up to the thumbs, hands to heart center. Take an inhale here. And reconnect with whatever it was you wanted to get out of practice today. Acknowledge the time you've already taken for yourself. Give yourself a little invisible pat on the back. Let's take those hands up to the sky. Hinge forward, fold at the hips. Hinge at the hips, fold forward. Press those hands into the earth. Step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat, dropping that right knee down. Reach up nice and high. Really engage those abdominals to maintain the integrity of the low back here. Hands come to heart center. Right hand down, left arm reaches up. Wonderful. Tuck the back toes. Launch that back knee off the mat. High lunge twist. And from here, we're going to open out to a warrior two. So we're going to ground that back foot down and windmill the arms up, finding that warrior two shape. The back toes are pointing to the long edge of the mat. Front knee tracking over the toes, straight ahead. Those hands sometimes and arms just want to hang out. Let's get those arms and hands stretching straight out. Gaze over those front fingertips. Tuck the tailbone. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, windmill the hands down to frame that front foot. Step the left foot back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And on your breath out, really firm the low belly here as the hips reach high. A lot of the power and the strength in this down dog comes from a nice firm low belly and abdominals. Can't talk this morning. My brain is on vacation as well. Look forward to those hands. Step the right foot forward, drop the left knee down. Rise up, low lunge. Hands to heart center. Left hand down, right arm reaches. Tuck the back toes, press in through the back heel, rise up, high lunge. And now we're going to find our warrior two. So ground that back foot down and windmill the hands up. You can adjust your feet once you get there. Gaze out over the front middle finger. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Settle the hips. Take a big breath in. Cartwheel, windmill the hands down, framing that front foot. Step the left foot forward, meet the right, and then rise up. Look up. Bring the hands down to heart center. Big breath in. Sigh it out. Reach the hands up to the sky. Hinge forward. Take those hands down to the earth. Step the right foot back. Drop the right knee down. Untuck the toes. Rise up. Low lunge. You so know where we're going here. Hands to heart center. Right hand down. Left arm up. So let's move a little faster, right? High lunge twist. Look down towards that right hand and windmill up. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior here. So taking that right hand down the right leg, left arm reaches back, and then windmill the hands down. Framing that left foot, step back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. Step that right foot forward, drop the left knee down, rise up, low lunge. Hands to heart center. Left arm down, right arm reaches for a twist. Tuck the back toes, high lunge twist. Find your feet here, gaze down to the mat, and then come on up. Warrior two. Settle into your warrior two so you've got a strong base, and then reach it back for reverse warrior. Right bicep is by the right ear, really nice and long through the right side of the waist. Cartwheel, windmill, your analogy of choice, and then step the left foot forward, finding a fold. Rise up. We've got one more rung in the ladder here, guys. You've got it. Building slowly, building with strength. Let's fold forward. Fingertips to the earth, step the right foot back, drop the knee, rise up, low lunge. Hands to heart center, right hand down, left arm reaches to the sky. Back toes tuck, lift up, high lunge. Gaze down, windmill up, warrior two. Right hand down, left arm reaches over. And then let's come through center, through warrior two, finding our side angle. So the left forearm rests on the left thigh. Right arm this time is reaching towards the top of the mat, bicep by the ear. Take a big breath here. Feeling nice and long through that back edge of the right foot to the right fingertips. Rise back up to your warrior two, just for a moment. Windmill the hands down, frame the left foot, step it back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Hips are high, heels melt to the mat as we breathe out. Look forward between the hands, step the right foot forward, drop the left knee down, rise up, look up, hands come to heart center. Take the left hand down, right arm reaches high to the sky, tuck the back toes, high lunge twist. Gaze down to the left hand and the right foot, find grounding in your feet, rise up, warrior two. Left arm reaches down, right arm reaches back. Bicep by the ear, create length. Come back through warrior two. Rest the right forearm down. Left arm reaches over for a side angle pose. So we're not collapsing in our chest here. We're keeping nice and open, rolling that top shoulder back and getting long from the back edge of the left foot to the very tippy top of the left fingertips. Rise back up, warrior two. Windmill the hands down. Look forward and step forward, finding a fold. Inhale, rise up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, slightly different variation here, guys. Let's reach up and fold. Plant the fingertips on the earth. Step that right foot back We're going to try and ground the whole of our palm here so that we can pick our left foot up and set up for a pigeon pose. So for pigeon pose, the left knee is behind the left wrist, right ankle is roughly behind the right wrist, and then we just wiggle our right foot back. Once we've wiggled our foot back about as far as we think it can go, drop the knee down, untuck the toes. Lift the chest and start to walk the hands forward. Maybe you rest your forearms on the earth here. Maybe you walk a little bit forward, and maybe you bow the head down. Forehead might touch. There's no magic in that though. And just breathe here in your pigeon. Look forward and start to walk those hands back in towards the left shin. And now we're going to sit off onto the left hip and see if we can't drag that right leg forward. And maybe we even cross that right foot over the left thigh, finding a seated twist. If your right booty is way off the earth here with the leg crossed, just take the left leg out long. We want to really ground down through that right foot. Sit up tall. You can use your hands to help. And then hug that left knee into your chest as you turn the shoulders towards the long edge of your mat, which I've just realized has shifted greatly in this short practice for me. I love when my mat travels along with me. Look over that back shoulder, the right shoulder. Just as we did in the beginning of practice with a twist, you want to inhale and sit up tall. Exhale to take your twist a little deeper. Okay, release the twist. If you've got the legs crossed, you can just kind of start to lift up and fold over those legs. But however you get there, we're all going to make our way to downward facing dog. So just step it back. Doesn't need to look pretty. Probably no one's watching. Lift those hips nice and high. Look forward between the thumbs. Step the right foot forward. Step the left foot forward and find a fold. Rise up, look up to those thumbs. Exhale, swan dive with a flat back. Fold. And from here, fingertips ground to the earth. We're going to step the left foot back. How novel. And see if you can ground those hands into the earth, popping off of that right foot just so you can set up for pigeon. Right knee behind the wrist, right ankle behind the left wrist. Wiggle those left toes back. Lifting the chest to lengthen the spine. And then see how low you want to go. And remember that each side is different. So try to move without judgment. Refine the breath. Look forward, walk yourself back up. And we're going to come off onto that right hip. And just like we did before, we're going to swing that left foot forward. See if we can cross the left foot across the body and over that right thigh. We have to ground down through that right foot so we're nice and stable. And then try to level off the hips. And if that's too much to do with all of this pretzel action, straighten the right leg. Sit up nice and tall. And then take the shoulders and the collarbone to the long edge of the mat as you hug that left knee in. Looking over the back shoulder here, finding your twist. If you like to hook that right elbow on the outside of the left thigh, you may do that as well. With a big breath in, find length. With a long breath out, deepen the twist. Acknowledge what your body's telling you without that judgment, and adjust. Release the twist. And then unwind the legs. Don't worry, we're not going to make our way back to down dog. And just windshield wiper the knees from side to side so the feet are wide on the mat. We're just taking the knees from side to side to release the hips a bit. Shift those hips forward towards the heels. Grab a hold of the shins if you can. Tight little ball. Roll down to your back. Plant the feet on the earth. Again, they're wide on the mat. Knock the knees in together. Hands at the low belly. If there's another movement you want to do, now is the time. Just do what works and what serves you. Days away from our normal job or our normal 9 to 5, day to day can sometimes feel overwhelming because it's up to us to choose what to do, right? If you're like me, a lot of your days are pretty much dictated by what needs to be done. And hopefully, in a lot of circumstances, that's pretty clear. And then the weekend comes and it's like, ooh, okay, got a lot of things I want to do. Now I have to prioritize. I have to, decide what makes the cut and what doesn't. And it can actually be really overwhelming. And taking moments where you kind of get quiet, whether it's on your yoga mat or just before you turn on the TV and check the email and do all the things, taking moments to get quiet can really help train yourself to be in that place where you can just make those types of decisions or get the clarity and get the space so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And know that it's a gift to have these days off, however they come. There's no right or wrong way to spend them. So don't put too much pressure on yourself when making that to-do list. And remember, just like now, a few moments ago, you have the choice as to what yoga pose you want to do, what you want to do with your day. And it's not an overwhelming thing, it's a good thing. If we get quiet and find space and get to know ourselves, we can make those choices and feel good about them. Now you can stay in this nice constructive rest position for as long as you need to today. It's your day off. Or you can join me in hugging the knees to the chest, releasing that low back, and rolling up to a seat. Whatever comfortable seat feels good for you, relaxing those shoulders and resting those hands on your knees. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day off. And if you enjoyed this practice, and I hope that you did, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell below so that you are in the know every time I put out a new practice, which is at least every Monday. All right, have a wonderful day off.